Good afternoon. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. Thank you all so much for viewing, and I mean viewership is doing so fantastic. It's unbelievable, and all your lovely comments. I mean, they are really touching. I mean, when people tell me that they were crying because things hit home or were so precise to them, and then they felt like they had avenues to go down, and or they felt buoyed by the information, and that's all we sometimes need is positive reinforcement that says, yeah, sometimes a difficult choice is the best choice, and it is especially in relationships. We know intrinsically whether somebody is good for us. We know in our intuitive gut, we know it in our psyche, and sometimes it takes a while to wash through the heart and the mind and get everything working together. So thank you so much for those beautiful comments, everybody. So today's read is going to be super fun. It's going to be a little racy. It's going to be, are we sexually compatible? So this will relate to in terms of a sort of new amore, or someone perhaps that has just come into your realm and you're beginning relationships, and that's one aspect of a relationship. Some place a lot of importance on it, some place little importance on it. It depends, because lots of attractions work in very obscure ways and very blatant ways. You know what I mean? And sometimes you will have a cerebral match, but you won't have a physical match. So this will help clarify some of that. So I'm going to do a pick a card spread. I'll lay them out for you. And also some of the things to look out for when you're trying to gauge that, because the mind can play tricks because you want to convince yourself, it's a good thing and this and that. But some people, they have either hang-ups or they're overtly sexual, and they just, they can't get enough, or they drive you crazy and you need to sleep, and they're too physical. People have different physical wants. Some people like to be touched a lot. Some people not so much. You know what I mean? They like their spatial arena, their boundaries, and they like privacy. And some people, they could be attached to you 24/7. So it varies greatly. So yeah, so this is going to be how sexually compatible are we, or are we sexually compatible? Our new amores. Yeah, you ever just have that situation where you're like, it's going to be great, this person's going to be so superb and whatever, and they just are like from another planet. You're like, did they just say or do that, or should I call the cops? Did you escape from a mental institution, or I don't know, I can't be certain. I don't think people get up to those things, because it is a very personal thing, and nobody wants to be insulting. Nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings. Again, remember, in every read that I do, I always come from the four corners of hail, of honesty, authenticity, integrity, and love. And when you're dealing with somebody, especially when they are so laid bare emotionally and physically, whatever, walk in delicate shoes, because people carry that with them. It emotionally scars them if you insult or belittle them sexually or their sexuality. You see it in films all the time when women or men really want to hurt each other. They're like, yeah, well, you suck in bed and you're this and that, and they bring upon the insults, and it scars people, because they start to doubt themselves. And who are they going to ask? Their moms? No. Who are they going to ask? It's just one of those things. So yeah, always come from a place of love. As and when people break up, know that for what it is. If anybody speaks to you in that way, which seems very ridiculous or harsh, it is because they're lashing out and they want a response. And never listen to anybody when they're in that stage, and that's how they're thinking and reacting, because at that point, I love this truth be told. This is a truth be told. At that point, they're just doing it to be hurtful. There's very little truth about it. There's very little anything. So what I will do is I will shuffle these after I read that, because I'm going to read it from the book if it doesn't come to me instantly, because it's very precise meanings and philosophies for this particular deck. That's the sexual healing deck, and I love the readings in this, and it has all little cool keynote things that are really neat and stuff. So yeah, pick a number that inspires you. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So just think on that for a minute. And I will give you I will pull you an oracle card that can maybe help you do some stuff. So Never Ending Story will be number 3, Tick Tock will be number 2, and To the Sea will be number 1. So if any of these rings a bell or resonates with you of these photographs, then you can choose from that. I like visual cues to help me pick out things. Okay, so To the Sea, TikTok, or Never Ending Story. And I'm going to begin here. And again, it's about are me and my new significant other sexually compatible? I love this book so much too. This is interesting. Okay, Six of Chalices. Yeah, this is I remember reading this the other day and being, oh yeah. And so lots of them, they're very different than you would think, which is really interesting. So this particular one, Memory, the magic of the parchment. A portrait reminds us of those who were only distant memories. It may revive desire for an ex or destroy blocks of the past. So that's kind of cool. I feel like some people that you might be involved in, they had some hang-ups because they felt, again, like I said, somebody said something insulting or bitter to them, so they feel like they're lacking in some degree because someone was trying to be vicious and make them feel bad. And your memory, I feel that they are becoming better lovers and attentive towards you because they're breaking free of the feelings and any of the... Sorry, I have a tiny hair or something on my eyelash. Got it. That's a miracle. It usually takes me 20 tries. Lots of times what happens that causes that rift and that non-sexual sexual match is the fact somebody's always still, they have those etheric attachments to their old love, their exes, and they're always comparing, contrasting. They come into the mix, especially in the bedroom if things were very dull with their significant other or very exciting with them. People are always comparing and contrasting. I feel especially males, they don't know they're doing that, but females are very vocal about what they like and they don't like or didn't like about them. So they're letting go of that in their head if they're male. So they're very free and open and communicative with you about those issues, which is nice. And so also when people are clearing and they're breaking those ties. They're just little invisible. It's like cables of pulls. They're energetic pulls where they still think people always harken back to the person they were dating last. And it's not so much a comparison thing, but it's I'm worthy of love. If I had this person and this person respected and loved me, then I am worthy of love. It kind of bolsters them and makes them stronger and makes them a better lover because they know that the person they were involved in the past were respectful of that and them, and they liked that relationship with them, so that will help them. But yeah, so if it's anytime you're with them and they get that dreamy look in their eye, it's not that they're fantasizing about somebody else. They're simply reassuring themselves that they are a good lover and that they're not lacking to any degree, because nobody wants to feel like a poo-poo non-Romeo. So 8 of Wands. Damn. Damn. What are they getting up to? I can't remember. I can't believe I can't remember these because they're only like 2 sentences, but I don't think I get the same things. Oh yeah, this is the savoring. Savoring, the magic of the swallows. Pleasure of in itself is like the essence of springtime. Savoring eroticism as a pastime allows you some breathing room. So what this speaks to me for sure is you like the echo of the past lovemaking and things like that. So it leaves a good feeling in you emotionally and mentally and physically. So I feel like this person savors each step. They rub your back. They do romantic gestures. They're compatible with you because they're taking the time to learn the things that you really like, and they're romantic about it. There's nothing rushed and there's nothing like staged about it. They are just a very natural person, and they know, and they're asking questions. They're like, oh, do you like if I rub your back? Do you like your feet rubbed? All things like that. And the exact communication and the education you're getting from each other is making a beautiful fit. So yeah, that is, if you chose that is really good. So I'm going to do you an oracle clarifying card too. Yeah. Okay, because if it's one thing that I do know about relationships, people are on different time clocks. They are in different moods because he may just be coming home from work. You may just be coming home from like a great walk in the park and be all relaxed. And you might be feeling all amorous because you're in a very relaxed state. And lots of times that's a good time to partake in anything when you're in a relaxed state. And, I never approach my husband with problems or questions the second he walks in the door, because I flip that around and I say, well, how do you feel when he would do that to you? You walk in from a busy day, you feel overloaded, you feel you didn't get your breathing space. You got to let people decompress and take it easy. So read the emotional cues on their face too. People look at you a certain way when they're ready for business, for sure. Anyway, it's like that. Oh, you're the tastiest candy in the world. It is that. It's that. This one's trying to fly out, so I'm going to do it. I wish this print. I'm going to get large print tarot cards, like a super crazy old woman. I'm going to do it. Focus and then act. Okay, so just what I was saying too. If part of what is going to make you compatible is you initiating things as well. I feel like your partner would like you to initiate things every once in a while. I feel like you may do on occasion anyway, but I feel like they would like that a little bit more, because it shows your desire for them, and that makes them very happy and cherished, and they feel good about that. So yeah, read all the social cues, and I can tell you just a couple right now, right away. They start to look at you almost from head to toe. They start gauging, because in their mind they're going, oh, I'd like to touch this and that. They don't even know they're doing it, but they're doing that. Sometimes they get flushed. They stand unusually close to you. When they hug you, they linger. They ask for a kiss, stuff like that. And if people are attracted to each other, it takes very little to initiate stuff. So yeah, just read those cues, and also just the tightness of their body, or if they feel relaxed or whatever. And just banter too. Words are huge cues, you know what I mean? Be like, wow, you look delicious, or whatever, something silly, and see their response. Because I swear I can scare my husband if he's trying to get all amorous and I'm not in that headspace, because I'm just not. I just come out with these things that I swear you'd think I just got off like a Norseman ship with an axe, and I'm just going crazy. If you ever see Vikings, I turn into those people, and he's like, oh, I was this one. Yeah, it's like, hey, because you get spatial time. So it's all, you can tell. It will be in their face, in their closeness, in their tone of voice, and yeah, and also, you ever see like in movies when their face is in the device, and you see the girlfriend or the boyfriend trying to be amorous? It insults and hurts the feelings of the others when they're not received well, because it's like, I would rather be looking at Facebook than you. It's harmful. All you have to do is be honest and say, listen, I'm physically tired, or I'm not in a space where I think I can give my full attention to this, and I cherish our time together. Always be gracious and loving, so somebody doesn't feel dismissed, silly, or unvalued, because it's very personal, right? So if you chose that, yeah, there's high compatibility for sure, especially if you let them linger and you initiate it. I feel like it's a very good match. So that's fantastic. So if that was you, that's yours. And also remember, if this resonated with you, remember to like and subscribe, because I want to thank you guys. I mean, it's really, everything is skyrocketing, and all the numbers and the viewership and the comments are helping me so much, because I'm learning to grid out some of the reads with the titles that people like, and the content that they like, the lengths they like, the style. I know pick a card is very super popular, things like that, because I want to cater to you. I'm here for you guys, so that's why I'm doing that. And also, if you need any more clarification, you can click. I always say clink to the lick, and so I'm like, yeah, good. Click to the link below if you need any clarification. My information there is for private reads is there, and I can be happy to fill in any of the gaps. So that is really good. Yeah, remember, just take your time and savor everything, because romance is so lovely, and people love to be treated special. Nobody else treats anybody like that but your lover, you know what I mean? That's why you, a great deal of your attraction started from is that, and you have to feed it like any relationship, or part of the relationship. So that's fantastic. I'm not used to this other light on me, but my cameraman informed me that wearing a hat with high up life actually cuts the line in half, and you almost can't see the upper half of my face. So I have this like completely blazing on me. So I'm like, whoa, yo. Okay, number 2, the TikTok group. Oh, snap. Oh yeah, we got the sun. You're my twin flame boy. My God, you got all kinds of business going on. I don't even know if I should show this card. What the hell? I never got that card before. Okay, so the sun. So yes, you are not only so compatible, you're getting up to that. I'll put that in front, and we'll get racy. The 3 of chalices. So yeah, you're not. He or she is not shy. They're all about the sensuality. They're full whack sensuality. So That's amazing. Let me get the book for Three of Chalices, because that's amazing. I'll go with the Sun after, because I haven't had that Three of Chalices. So passion. Oh yeah, I did a while ago. So passion, the magic of the egg. The egg is the promise of life. It indicates improvement, success in love, and relief from heartbreak. No, I definitely haven't had that. That's because I would remember that visual. I was like, oh snap. Okay, so improvement, success in love, and relief from heartbreak. Okay, so I feel like that significant other, they've experienced something, or you had in the not too recent past, which it hurt your psyche, your feelings, and it rattled you a little bit. So to even be able to open up and have this type of relationship was very hard on one or the other of you. I feel more like on the person who's watching this than them, and that you were skeptical in that and opening yourself up. But with the Sun, that's amazing. I'm going to put my glass back on and read that too, because that's amazing. The Sun is always caused the highest vitality, optimism, hope, renewal. It's the tops of the tops. I love those. Okay, the Sun. Yeah, so, but that Three of Chalices, absolutely, that's like, dun, 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 super, super high passion. So the Sun is fusion and fascination. The eye is the mirror of the soul and creates with magic of thought. If partners suggest happy images to each other, the couple reaches a state of union lasting splendor. So yeah, that's what I get, I believe, because it's absolutely a mindset too, and passion thrives on visuals and each other, that you're both taking care to have that little extra, like swish about you and to look alluring, a little lingerie and things like that. But more importantly, it's how you're connecting verbally, and you're creating an imagery in one another's minds by speaking of this. A lot of times it's important to be like, oh, what are you going to do to me? Or what would you like to do to me? And then you go from there, and your imaginations just go wild, because it really is the mind is a huge aphrodisiac for sure, and just looking forward to those things. Like I know when I've spoken to people on relationships, it says, what do you get really excited about? And they said the promise of something greater, you know what I mean? Like later in the day, it'll get them through a rough work day. They have to go to the DMV or some kind of nightmare thing like that. They're like in the DMV, all perving out on everybody. Like, when I get home, you don't even know what's going to happen. That type of thing, you know what I mean? It's very psychological. It can put you in a good mood. Just think of when you're in a place you don't particularly want to be there. It's hard work to be there. It's strenuous. You're in your car, you're in traffic, whatever. And you think back over just some lovely interaction with your mate, and it puts a smile on your face, because it's that special time that you share together. So it's that. So remember to always talk it up and use little. I feel like this is your significant other likes to just use a little dirty talk. And what are you going to do? And what am I going to do? And this, that, and they're very in their head, and they like to have creative thought about it, and it really is expansive and fun for you, and they don't take themselves too seriously, which makes it really nice. That way people are experimental, they're fun, it's a no judgment zone. They could care less what anybody else is doing, because you are their absolute focus, which is so nice. And with the Sun, it has every prospect of just thriving and longevity for that as well, which is really fantastic. So I like these oracle cards. I'm going to pull you an oracle card. That's awesome. So yeah, again, why I'm shuffling these, I just want to thank you guys so much for your likes and subscribes. It's fantastic. So if this resonates with you, don't forget to like and subscribe, because the numbers are just like going through the roof. I'm so happy. I mean, I've only been at this 3 weeks, and I'm like, I couldn't even keep up with some of the comments, and I answer everyone, and I don't care how busy it gets, I'll answer everybody. I read every single one, and I go through them, because it's the reason I'm here, to just connect with you guys. It's so funny that we can all just connect, and we have this great device, and I study every day so I can hone my craft and get more information on whatever topic I'm working with, because you get some people, and it's obviously come on, and they're absolutely winging it. And it gets a little distracting. And I also get a little sad, because this is such a vehicle to so many millions of people. I feel like if you're trying to contact people and inform them and lift them and help them become abundant and happy, whole and sound, do some research and find out and know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Educate yourself, so the people that I know, especially, I have the beautiful audience. It's like, you make me cry. You speak my every language, this and that. It's such a beautiful thing to hear, and I'm so astounded, and I'm so grateful from that, and I'm always going to come from, the honest. I'll call you when I'm done, hon. I know my cameraman is staring at me. I think he thinks I'm sexy. which is good because we've been married since the crack of dawn. Been married 25 years. Nice. Heed your dreams. So that's basically it. So this is also about you get instinctive feelings about things and stuff. And people, a lot of them can recall their dreams very well. Some can't. But think of what happens to your body when you think of this particular person and stuff. Does it feel relaxed? Does it feel good? Does it feel... what it should never feel like is an obligation, a chore, or anything of those things. It should just all just come from the wellspring of natural love and desire and wanting to be with them. So hopefully that's what it feels like. And I definitely feel like this person is very good for you. And the thing is to never make them feel like they're judged. And the second, if they ever say anything that makes you feel judged in the slightest, call them out on it and be like, listen, this is very, this is very individual. This is very... I don't think there's anything that's more sensitive than how someone feels about you when you're at your most, when you're at your most vulnerable. So you always be gentle with them, and I feel like that's what brings it about, because there's a lot of positivity and amazing energy out there this time of year. It's harvest time. It's, the fall equinox, everything. That's why I just feel like it's the strongest manifestation time. The law of attraction is super, super strong. So as long as you educate and communicate and you talk to each other, you're going to get exactly what you want from each other, and it's going to be really nice. And to never push anything. Don't push a point. Read their face when you're trying to raise the subject matter, and if they don't seem like they're being receptive, put it off to another time. That's the main thing is patience. You know what I mean? Every kind of love, every kind of relationship needs patience, for sure. Let's see what these are going to... That last group, that race of cards was like, ooh. This can be really good depending on what follows. This is death, and it's so funny. I was just telling some of my people, I said if if death comes up along with the devil, I'm going to burn the house to the ground and I'm never coming home. Because it would be hard. Well, you know what? I don't think I've ever had that in this thing. So I'm going to wait for the second card to see what this means. Because death is always, I love death in every other deck too, because it means you have completely ripped away, washed away, and got rid of any of those parts that do not work for you. And I'm sure it's going to be the same in this too. You cannot renew and restart if everything is full. You can't fit anything else on your plate if you grabbed everything from the buffet. You know what I'm saying? You have to have something die off. You have to have those leaves die for the next crop of fresh leaves that come in. And I feel like it's the viewer more than who they're with is kicking those old habits to the curbs. One thing that can kill everything, especially in amorous situations, is expectation. I say this in a lot of my videos. Drop expectation. People said it's so high. Oh, there has to be roses. We're going to have scent. We're going to have 7,000 thread count. We're going to have lions and tigers and bears around singing opera and playing the mandolin. You know what I mean? It just gets cartoonish because we can have such flights of fancy in that we always think there has to be so much heavy romance, and actually it just takes two people paying only attention to each other. You know what I mean? Expectation can squish the living shit out of everything. So you have to give it that oxygen and let people just be expressive. I feel like when you just let them be you and they don't feel judged, it's very lovely. Okay, let me see. Oh, this is very nice. Abandon, sublimation of instinct, temporary abstinence from sex reinforces your desire. A relationship undergoing a transformation, even at the end of things, must be accepted serenely. Okay, so if at some point in term for whatever reasons, separation, you have to go travel, or I do see some people traveling, and so I see a break in those kinds of relations for a while, so it lets things escalate, and it lets your things become very rich in your mind, and you start to formulate plans and ideas, because everybody knows absence makes the heart grow fonder, or just say, it's that thing, you want a little hunger when you eat, right? You don't want to be stuffed all day and be full all the time. You want a little hunger, so you have to leave room. And I have to say this as a complete adult too. When we go on crazy benders and you have sexual encounters every day, you kind of are like, man, I need a rest. You know what I mean? It's too much. You have to miss something a little bit to cherish it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So that's sort of the spice of it. And I feel like one of you is holding off a little bit to let that hunger sort of reestablish itself. And yeah, like the whole tantric sex idea of people using almost every other method to tantalize, and it's very sensual because so much of it is in our head. I mean, let's be real. It really is, right? I mean, the acts of all of it is wonderful too, but it's the building up to and leading up to it. It's so nice because it's like you just create a smorgasbord in your head and things like that. You're like, la, 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 la. Okay, so yeah, these are very compatible with that. The Hermit, for sure. The Hermit with that. I like this a lot. Because I think I had the Hermit like 3 out of 5 reads. It's crazy for this. And yeah, these go together for sure. Let me find out where that is. Because the Hermit in most things, people are backing away from social groups and stuff to regroup and regather. So in this particular one, it's refusal. Retention of the seed, slowing down your pace allows the magic to germinate. When the psychic force is restrained, its power is doubled. Again, with the absence makes the heart grow fonder, and letting yourself get a little hungry. You can't, if you're constantly being chased or vice versa or whatever, it can feel like a chore. So I feel where you are sexually compatible, but this is weird. I just had this really pop into my head. I feel like the person with you is a bit of a sex maniac. I feel like they like it constantly, and everything you do gets them going and gets them hot, and you're just like, this is great and I love this attention, but you're feeling that you need a break, and you want that space so you can have time to think about it. You know what? And what's the word I'm looking for? So you can if I try to think too hard of a word, it won't come to me. Anyway, you're just like, cut, that's a wrap. I need time to friggin' do anything that's not sex. Here's a perfect example. You ever go away on holiday and you go out and the place that you're at is utterly beautiful? It's funny, I'm wearing my rose quartz stone. I made this the other day when I got this stone. I was like, I love rose quartz. And it's a love stone, so it's good for this reading. Okay, so you ever go out on vacation and right away you almost get antsy because the anticipation, you can see it on your lover's face or whatever. There's always one that has a higher sex drive anyway. And they're, unless you're Spanish, then just forget it. Who knows? So, no, I'm just kidding. So, I worked with a couple Spanish people, and they could talk about sex from the second we got in the door to the second we left. And I love it. I love the passion of them. Oh my God, forget it. South Americans, they are the best at talking about it and just getting psyched about it and dancing in the way they dance. Forget it. They're just so passionate and they're so lovely. And my family's a little more Nordic. We're a little, I'm on my father's side, and they're a little cooler and observe and stuff, and like everything's not out there. I mean, I don't feel prudish or anything by any means. I feel like information is information, but I feel like Spanish people will almost look like they're fornicating on the dance floor, and it's like, I love it. So anyway, I feel like you need a little respite so you can sit back and savor it slowly, but have time between, like oxygen. Again, you can't keep throwing that wood on and smothering that fire. It's too much. So the intensity, I feel like the person you're involved in is a little hot and heavy. So it is that same analogy of when you go on holiday and the anticipation of, oh, we're in this perfect environment, so it'd be better if we had sex from the time we woke up to the time we went to sleep, and you're like, no, I don't think so. That sort of thing where you're just like, hey, there's other experiences in the world too, you know what I mean? And yeah, that sort of thing. So I feel like they're a little like over-sexed, and you're like, how to cope with it without being insulting. And you just say it like it is, because I've been in this situation for 25 years. I'm just kidding. If he sees this, he's gonna die. No, he loves it. And every once in a while, I'm like, oh my God, calm down. Like everything, it's like flesh, and you're like, oh my God, you're not used to it by now, calm down. But it's like that. You feel like it's constant pursuit almost type of thing. So all you have to say is, listen, I love you more than anything. I love you to the moon and stars, but guess what? I'm not as highly physical as you. I need my space for other things, and I feel like honestly, you feel like you're being pursued. It's almost like you're running through the jungle and there's a constant jaguar on your ass, and you just can't ever chill out, and you have to dress in head to toe armor or whatever. That sort of thing. Just be honest. Hey, I need a break. I need time to rebuild the passion. That's it. It's not about being mean or anything like that. And always be flattered that they have that affection for you. Oh, this just flew out, so I'm not even going to do anything else because that was really One day I'll have eyeballs that can read. Need and necessity. Okay. Bah, 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 bah. Yes, need and necessity. Okay. There's a much better thing. Sometimes it's like a necessity for a break. There's real needs and then there's necessity. It's the same thing like when you go to the grocery store. Hell yeah, you want all the snacks and the yum-yums everywhere. You want the cheese puffs, you want the lemonade, you want the strawberry lemonade, you want all the good things and the things that aren't necessarily good for you. Guess what? If you ate everything you wanted, it was like you would have a stomachache for the rest of your life. It's like that. Things need to regenerate, recuperate, anything, desire, all those things. Necessity. Yes, people need human attention to feel loved, to not feel rejected. That is the strongest thing, and that's the shift on this, to not use rejection as the thing. Just simply, I love you more than anything, and I think it'll be better if, we have a little passion build. Just use word play and be like, if we did this on this time, like whatever, if we waited to the full moon, then it'd be 10 times as great. No, just that sort of thing. Always let them know that they're loved and cherished. But yeah, I feel like you guys are compatible, but I feel like your mate is a little oversexed at times. That can happen. It can happen. And I had a workmate one time, and she would just have me in stitches all the time talking about, she already knew her agenda when she walked through the door, and she was already exhausted just thinking about it. Like, damn, girl. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, you got to get on that passion train, but every once in a while you got to put more coals in the fire and let those restoke for sure. So again, thank you so much, everybody, for liking and subscribing. That really, and commenting. Your comments are so good. It's so helpful. Everything is doing so well due to that. And if you need any expansion on this or details, you can click on the link below. I have all my private read information and stuff. And this time of year, it fills up fast. Everybody is very excited. I think they know it's harvest season in October. So it creates that, oh yeah, that like that, and people are, passions are building. All these holiday events are coming in. So it's a really nice time. Go out and, if you're a female, get yourself in something red. I tell you what, I've done some surveys and studies and asked people, and they're like, the way people would respond to me at work and stuff, I normally wear blues and greens because they're very peaceful in the eye, or grays and beiges. I like that. But once I wore a red dress, and I swear to God, everybody was like losing their minds. They were like, wow, like you don't even look like you, because especially it's that thing, but it pops. And if you're tired and you wear it, it energizes you. Okay, no. Okay. You guys, I'm on the thing. Just close that. My family's having a little powwow out there in a wrestle match and stuff. I love them. I have 2 teenagers, India and Hagen, and I love them, and they are just crazy. So anyway, yeah, that is your read, and that's fantastic. I'm going to be done in a sec. So that's you guys, and that's fantastic. So remember, just always be loving and supportive, and if people feel rejected, they feel sad, and so you got to treat them like the person they are, the person you love. That's all. And again, thank you guys for all your viewership. I really appreciate it. And that is your Are We Compatible read. Thanks, son.